Have you ever wondered how, with limited resources, you can make a lasting impact on American music? As you will see in this short video, the National Repertory Orchestra is in desperate need of a new set of timpani.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Epp, and I'm the principal timpanist of the 2008 National Repertory Orchestra. And we're doing a little educational video here in the hopes of upgrading our current timpani situation. The drums that the National Repertory Orchestra generally plays on now would probably be considered good high school level instruments. And we're hoping to bump ourselves up to the professional category, as that's how we view ourselves as musicians and as an organization. So there are a few aspects that differentiate professional instruments from the instruments that we have now. And I want to go over some of those with you and hopefully give you a little idea of why it's so important for us to make a jump here. The first thing I'm going to talk about is the pedal mechanism of the timpani. Basically, the instruments we have now work on a glorified spring system. While it's very easy to change pitches, the drawback of this is once you start playing on the head and exert some pressure, the spring can give a little bit. So the pitch can actually change on you while you're in performance, which doesn't make life easy for us, to put it mildly. On the drums we're looking at getting, the pedal is actually governed by a ratchet system, which means once you set it, it's not moving, no matter what you do, no matter how loud you're playing, no matter what other conditions exist. So you don't have to worry about that. In addition to having a ratchet system, the higher quality instruments also actually have a fine-tuning handle, which allows you to make slight variances in the pitch while you're playing, or if the ratchet doesn't quite get to exactly where you need it, you can make adjustments on the fly. Secondly, and probably the most important factor in the difference in the sound of the instrument, is the quality of the bowl. On these bowls we have here, all timpani bowls of this quality and better are made from copper. This is what's called a spun copper bowl. On the higher quality drums, we have handmade copper bowls that are hand hammered. They're much thicker, they're made from heavier material, and what that's going to do is it's going to give you a more clean, focused sound, first of all. And second of all, it's going to allow you to play a lot louder without having the sound kind of get ugly. There's more space in the bowl, so there's more vibration, more resonance, and you get more depth of sound, more character to the drums. Finally, the last thing I want to talk about is just the overall quality of the hardware of the instrument. What you'll see is if you flip one of these drums over, we actually have thin metal rods which are pulling the whole mechanism of the drum down to make the pitch changes. You can see the tiny little tuning screws right here. And on the higher quality drums, everything is much more heavy duty. Instead of tiny metal rods, you actually have a cast steel spider that pulls down all the parts of the drum together to make sure everything's working in unison, the pitch is pulled down evenly, everything stays in tune no matter what else is going on. The tuning rods are much thicker and just ensure that everything lasts longer, everything functions better for a long period of time. So, in conclusion, stepping up to a higher quality of drum is a good investment now because of the longevity we'll get out of the instruments as they're a higher quality, and because of the sound we'll get out of the instruments. And I would be so excited to play on professional quality instruments with this orchestra.
Hi, I'm Brandon Bell. I'm the stage manager of the National Repertory Orchestra. During the rest of the year, I'm a freelance percussionist in Houston, Texas. I also teach percussion at Sam Houston State University in Huntsville, Texas. I'm talking to you today about the timpani situation of the National Repertory Orchestra. The drums that I am standing behind aren't even NRO's drums. We borrow them from the Breckenridge Music Festival. The drums that the NRO actually owns are in far worse condition. They are old, they are decrepit. Ideally, NRO would own our own set of professional top-of-the-line drums.
Hi, my name is Adam Wolf. I'm one of the co-principal timpanists of the National Repertory Orchestra in summer 2008, and I'm here to talk to you about these timpani. These are the drums that NRO actually owns. They're not quite what you would expect to see in any kind of full-time orchestra or an orchestra that does as many concerts as we do and at the level that this orchestra performs. The bowls here and the struts and the other various parts of the frame are actually made of aluminum instead of copper for the bowl and steel, respectively, for the parts of the frame. That was just to cut down on weight, but you suffer a lot of loss of tone quality in making a drum like that. So they're not really full professional instruments to start with. The other thing that makes these kind of a double whammy for the orchestra is the fact that they're not in very good shape at all. The tuning gauges on these drums are definitely a bit substandard. These are made from just tying some string to the front edge of the pedal and then running it up through some straws and then attaching a weight at the end so that it moves past a section of the head as the pedal moves up and down. That's sort of the cheap way to do it when you really need a gauge and the drums don't have gauges. Professional timpani all come with full mechanical gauges that are placed in more appropriate parts of the mechanism to make them more accurate, because placing them that way on the mechanism makes them about as inaccurate as they could possibly be. Also, NRO around the festival circuit does have a reputation for not having the best gear, which can play into a participant's decision as to whether or not they would come.
I'm Carl Topolo, conductor of the National Repertory Orchestra. I've been doing this orchestra for 31 years, an exciting situation for me and to be working with these young musicians. However, we are in need of new timpani. Our timpani at this point have been used for many years, well over 30 years now, and it's important for us to start looking to the future to getting really a good pair or a good set of timpani. The timpani that sound well, that stay in tune well, are very important to any orchestra, and especially to our young musicians who are striving to attain a very high level of competency and of achievement. And as it turns out, it would cost as much to refurbish our own timpani with no guarantee that they would sound any better than they do now. So we're really hopeful that we can get a new set of timpani for the 2009 season, for our 50th anniversary, and it would be something very special for our orchestra.
Symphony orchestras of the level of the National Repertory Orchestra are expected to provide top quality instruments for their percussionists. If you are interested in participating in solving this problem for the National Repertory Orchestra, please give a call to the office at 970-453-5825 and please ask to talk to Executive Director Carrie Farrell.